Bit of blood in my stool, to use the proper terminology, and it was just to investigate whether that was anything nasty, like the big C.
To have a colonoscopy that is successful, your bowel needs to be completely clear so that the endoscopist can have a clear view of the lining of your bowel.
They invest some money in someone actually phoning you and explaining that you need to do this. But also to make it clear, they're going to send this pack, they're going to highlight the bits you need to do. Just follow these bits the day before, follow that bit the day before.
We will send you a package that will have an appointment letter, a colonoscopy booklet, the bowel preparation, and other special instructions on how to take the medication. When you receive your package, you need to read and go through everything in advance so that you can plan in advance. If you have any questions, please do contact us and we will be happy to address any concerns or questions that you may have. So to get the best outcome, you need to go on a low-fiber diet 2 days before the procedure. So this means you need to eat your white foods that include fish, eggs, chicken, and you need to avoid high-fiber foods, fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. But we would be sending you a list of the foods to eat and what to avoid.
And it's got a nice table there of what you can't eat, what you can eat. So you're avoiding things that leave skins behind, like vegetables and fruit. You can't eat those. You're allowed squashes, but they don't like the stainy ones, which is like Ribena, nothing deep red. But you can drink orange squash till the cows come home. Kind of beige food, I think. You know, if you think about a child and beige food, largely that kind of thing. But again, there's a helpful table that says the do's and don'ts. And then the day before, you have to stop eating completely, but you are allowed clear liquids, which includes coffee and tea, but I think without milk in them.
So clear fluids can include things like water, fruit juice without any bits, any squash, and also you could have something with a strong taste like ginger tea or herbal teas. So you need to avoid red colored fluids. You need to avoid milk and alcohol. Plenvu is made up of 2 doses. So dose 1 is 1 sachet that you need to mix in 500 ml of water. You need to make sure you stir it until it completely dissolves.
So the wise thing to do, it says in the bump, it's worth mixing up that sachet the night before or certainly a few hours before you're going to take it.
So it's always advisable to prepare the mixture in advance and store it in the fridge because it makes it easier to drink and reduces the taste.
Get it in the fridge because it's nicer when it's cold. And you can mix fruit squash into that. So I think the first one is a mango flavour, and I happen to have a mango flavoured squash as well. So I put a bit of that into it just to make the flavour a bit tastier.
So the second dose is made up of 2 sachets of Plenvu A and B. You have to tip them together into a measuring jug, and then you add 500 ml of water. You need to stir it completely until it dissolves again, which takes approximately about 8 minutes. So the 2 different doses come in 2 different flavours. And the second dose is stronger, which helps clean you out thoroughly.
And then the second dose, you've got 2 sachets from memory for that one, and that's a fruit cocktail flavour. It's a bit disgustingly sweet, that one. So you might want to temper that the other way with something a bit sharper, maybe, I don't know, lemon barley water or something like that.
So the timings for taking your Plenvu they vary. So you need to follow specific instructions that are sent to you through the post. However, you should remember that you need to split the doses. You should not take them together. So you can either use a glass with a straw or you can use a sports bottle with a straw. As long as you sip it slowly over 30 minutes up to an hour, this really helps to prevent you feeling sick.
It does just feel like you're drinking squash, but there's a kind of aftertaste that you know you've taken a load of salts in there. So you've got that. So the actual liquid itself isn't bad, but there's something in that thing that the body recognises. And the second one, the fruit cocktail one, is so much sweeter. I did find that harder to get down. But if you hold your breath so you don't smell it, and so less is going into your taste buds, that really helped me. Just remembering to hold my breath every time I took a swig.
The instructions are meant to be followed just as they are given, which means you'd need to take all the bowel preparation, not part of it. Otherwise, your bowel will not be clearly empty, which may result in a repeat procedure.
It says on the instructions, in addition to the half a litre of Plenvu, you've got to make sure you also have another half a litre of water between each dose, as it were. So you've got to make yourself have a lot of liquid. But you can take your time over it. You know, there's a big window of time that you can take over that. and it gets harder and harder as you work your way through the half a litre. But by the end of it, it's done. Get it done, get it down here.
When you start taking the bowel preparation, you should not eat any solids, but you can drink clear fluids up to 2 hours before the procedure. So the number of times you go to the toilet varies from person to person. However, you will be going to the toilet frequently, so it's always advisable to stay near the toilet.
There's an element of feeling you need to go to the loo and you go and nothing happens. But then when it does start happening, and I think that was about 2 hours later, you're going to be on the loo for a while. And then you'll come and sit down and you might have half an hour to an hour, and then you're going to be in the loo for a while again. And one thing I noticed was, certainly by the time you get to the second sachets and the second time round, what you're really aiming for here is that you're going to be weeing out of your bum quite a volume of largely clear liquid. I mean, by the end, you're pretty much peeing water out of your bum. And that's the point. You're trying to clean out your bowel so there's nothing there to get in the way of the camera. And it does come out with force, and it's not actually that unpleasant. It's not like when you got the squirts on holiday.
So you don't need to worry about anything when you come for the appointment, because we'll look after you. And with the bowel preparation, just look at it as a means to an end, because once you do it properly and specific to the instructions, you will have a clear bowel. So it's worth your while to get it right.
I have 2 young children. They're now 11 and 7. And I think they'd miss me desperately if I wasn't here for them. So I think it's more important that you address something that could be life-threatening. It's worth it if it might catch something that could be nasty. Follow the really simple instructions that have been highlighted up nicely for you. It's really important you do the prep, otherwise the whole thing's a waste of time. And not just your time, 6 or 7 people on the NHS who are going to be in that room who are doing the sedation and the observation and all the rest of it. You're wasting all of their time too. Get it right the first time, it saves a whole load of wasted time and effort for everybody else and a whole load of wasted money for the NHS.